Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. It's me, Andy, Corporate Commander, TFW, and rising from a pool of his own pain and suffering, it's Mikey G-Wolf V3. He's come back. Hello, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey des.
Hey, how's it going, Mikey?
I'm okay, how are you? Well, I'm not okay, I'm dying, but...
I was going to say
for demonstration.
probably. So you're still not completely healed?
No. I am... This thing is hanging on with the grip of a small child when you're trying to take their Maltesers off them.
Oh, no. That sounds like you've been trying to steal children's Maltesers recently. Is this the reason why you're ill? Did the child, gum all over the Maltesers and you went, I'll be fine, and you just ate them?
If they're trying to fight back, they gotta learn.
Yeah, but they did fight back and they won. You got diseased.
Yeah, but I got the Maltesers.
Was it worth it? How long have you been ill for?
I got the Maltesers.
I got the Maltesers! I got the Maltesers!
Oh, dear.
Well, Mr. Mikey, it's been a while since you've been on the show, but, it's still Transformers. That's still what we're doing. There's some good stuff that's happened this week. There was a big thing. We may as well kick off the news with the SGC, which is probably, what's that, the Singapore? Is that Singapore convention? Comic-Con convention?
Gaming convention or something like that, I'm assuming.
Something like that.
Or
yeah.
Something in a language we don't speak that just happens to have the initials SGC and we're being horrific.
Perhaps. I'm sure we've covered SGC before in other places.
Yes.
They showed off a load of third-party stuff, primarily Iron Factory stuff, but also some Iron Warrior stuff as well. So they were really... going down the iron route. So let me tell you, Mikey, about what was revealed. For the new reveals, they showed off... is it worth me giving the numbers? It probably is, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so the EX20D, the Tyrant Wings Obsidian, Nova Storm, the EX-20H, the Tyrant Wings... do you want to say that name, Mikey?
Oh, God. Let me see. Where to
Hikato?
go? I had it open. Where to go? The Hecatolite.
There we go. Who's Ion Storm. The EX30D Darkness.
There was only one
Cygnus?
I'm sorry. Cygnus,
which is the Shatterglass Jetfire. The EX36R Chaos Raven, which is the Fallen. The EX37 Phantom, which is Hollow Mirage, of course. The EX41 Sonic Wave, which is Soundwave with Rumble and Frenzy. The EX47 Void Tyrant, which is Galvatron. The EX51 Power Falcon, which is Power Glide. And the EX40... Why are these not in numerical order, for fuck's sake? And
hey, TFW.
The EX49 Void Legion, which is Scourge. There were also coloured prototypes of ones that we've seen before, that being the EX40 One-Man Army Cliffjumper, the EX43 Primal Commander, which is the Optimal Optimus, the EX42, again, numbers, come on now, Heat Death, which is Transmetal 2 Megatron, the EX45 Yoro Shishimaru, the Yoro Shishimaru, which is Leo Convoy.
Or Chujinmaru. You can call
what's
it
that?
as well.
It's not Chujinmaru. It should be.
It might be Chujinmaru.
Honenkumoki, which is Bludgeon, which is EX46. So there's a lot of fucking shit here.
Yeah.
We went from the tip of the dick to the base of the dick. It's all in. So we may as well start off with the coloured prototype because we're going by the images. And the first set of images that we've got are of the Lyo Convoy, which is the...
Shishimaru.
See, I was going to go with the more Japanese-styled line that Iron Factory seemed to be going for.
Yeah, that is an understatement.
Yeah, which is weird because this we've talked about it before. This still looks like Lyo Convoy,
yeah,
but just if he was with a very slight samurai twinge to it.
In his robot mode. Slight in his robot mode would be the way to put it.
Yes.
Not so slight in his lion mode.
No, it's a little bit more slapping you in the face about it. So how do you think it is? Because I think that we can agree at a legend scale, trying to do a Lio convoy, as it seems like they're trying to go for a similar transformation, is going to be fucking hard. And I don't think they've pulled off the animal mode. I do think they've done the best that they could.
Yeah, I think, like, the very obvious thing of his sides are his legs. I think it still looks better than what they normally do, which is basically stick the legs out and bend the knees the wrong way.
Yeah, I would agree.
Hey, Galleon. God bless him. But I actually really like it. I like the lion mode. I really like the skull from the head, and I didn't expect the gold to come down under the eyes. Like it's gotten full Kabuto helmet.
Yeah, actually,
and it can do the sword in the mouth. And the robot mode is a slightly stylized version of standard Lio convoy.
I actually kind of wish they went further with the stylized robot mode.
Yeah. I kind of wish it was a bit not like perfect effects version.
No,
but at least with the kind of sensibility of we're going full hog here.
Yeah, and they have got little bits with the side skirt armor kind of looking like samurai armor, and the back tail piece again kind of going with samurai armor, but because it's white, that kind of just gets, at least to me, blurred into the background of just it's just gubbins. It's nothing special. Unlike the bludgeon, who's like, oh yeah, this motherfucker's all samurai in his robot mode.
Yeah, bludgeon's just unapologetic on an extreme level.
Oh yeah, and that's fine. That's exactly at least what I wanted from bludgeon. Yeah,
like I love the fact he has the flag.
I am annoyed that we've got like more professional prototype production images of the Lio convoy, but not of bludgeon. Which is the one that me and you have both said as soon as we saw this design were the one that we were much more interested in.
Yeah, but it's a convoy.
Oi, indeed. Yeah, like you said, he has a little flag, which I always like when they do that. He has a very Japanese-styled cannon, gun, musket.
Yeah.
He has the Oni-styled chest and groin piece, I guess.
Yep.
And he's also got a samurai helmet in robot mode, unlike Lio Convoy. And he also seems to have a screaming face. I assume it's a skull face, but it's a little bit hard to tell.
I suspect if you zoomed in there, you'd probably see two Oni fangs.
I see. I'm actually wondering if when you zoom in, it's not a skull face or an Oni face, but it's one of those, the masks that they put over the faces. Yeah. It might be one of those, which again would be very cool. I'd be all for that.
Oh yeah.
I really do think Bludgeon stands out versus Lio Convoy just because he's way more stylized in both modes. I mean, Jesus, his second mode. Wow. That's a special thing.
I'm sure someone's complaining. I'm sure someone's complaining loudly about this not being G1, and to them I'm saying aloud, ha!
Oh, I thought you were going to say not realistic. Because for those not aware, it seems to have two modes. It has a standard tank mode with an Oni face on the front of it, and then it has a spider tank mode where the treads kind of go into a leg form, so it can, I guess, crawl up buildings, which is pretty sick.
And I have a question for you, Andy.
Okay.
If you got this, would you ever have it in the standard tank?
It only has one alt mode. Really. It has a fan mode into a proper tank, and then it has its real mode. At least in my eyes. If I was going to throw some shade at it, I would say he's maybe a bit too green.
I'm wondering if this is a prototype.
I'm hoping it is. I hope they've got more color on it in the future.
Some of the details feel like that's just base color plastic, and that's probably because if you look at the group shot, his colors don't quite match up. Like he's got more gold in him.
Oh, is this the CG render? Yeah, quite right. Yeah, he's got a lot more gold in him, which will help a hell of a lot. That's for sure. Yeah. He's not the smallest. He's not the biggest. They still got that Starscream girl to come as well.
Yes, I'm also apologizing for the amount of coughing in this. I'm doing my best.
It's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to mark down every cough, otherwise that's going to be a lot of working.
You'll die.
Yes, I will die. So those two are good. We have that image that you said. Was
girl there, or was she just in the group shot to remind us that she's being made?
As far as I'm aware, she was just in the group shot.
Yeah.
We haven't heard it. This is the weird thing about Iron Factory. They will show an idea. They'll show prototypes, and then you'll hear. It feels like you'll hear nothing from it because we've got the Soundwave. Is this Soundwave the same Soundwave we've seen before? You know, that weird truck one, or is this a different Soundwave?
I think it's the truck one.
If we can, is there a close up of the Soundwave?
I think that's the truck. Looking at the design, I think that's the truck one.
You might be right, but if that's the case, this is the first time he's been shown with a rumble and a frenzy, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Iron Factory basically shows you a design, doesn't talk about it for ages, and then says they're releasing it.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure if it's a great marketing scheme, but it's interesting. It gives us stuff to talk about, so you know, I can't complain about that. I can't say that these are the best photos that have been taken. Some of them are a bit dodgy, but Mikey Scourge, the Scourge figure that's coming. How do you feel about that? Because he's always a bit of a tricky one to do.
Yeah, I think he turned out fairly well. It's a decent design. I think it overall looks like it works. I maybe a bit on the we're doing our best side.
He's got pointy toes though.
He does have pointy toes,
which is fun. He does look, at least to my eyes, very similar to the Generations toy. In both vehicle mode and robot mode. Just the aesthetic. I like his like pickaxe kind of weapon. That's nice.
Yeah, no, I think this is partly based off IDW because I seem to remember he had something like that.
That would make sense, especially looking at Galvatron, who's all in.
Who is super IDW.
Yeah.
He's like original Spotlight Galvatron.
God, man, that was a few years ago, wasn't it? Don't say the number, though.
Many
years ago. What do you think of the Galvatron, Mikey? Because I feel that we don't get a lot of Galvatrons.
No, we don't. It's a good design. It's a good alt mode. I really wish it was the Robots in Disguise Galvatron.
Sure, yeah.
Because I actually like that design better, if I'm completely honest. But I like this design as well. I think it's a good one. It's just, you know, if I gun to my head kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, I think this has turned out fairly well.
And the Rumble and the Frenzy, though we don't really know what they turn into. They have wheels on the backs of the legs, so maybe they go into the truck mode?
Or little bikes?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, maybe bikes. Yeah.
I want to see better pictures because they
Same.
are super, super prototypes.
Yeah.
Like, they are early stage prototypes.
And we have the two new Seekers who actually have some pretty cool color schemes, I will admit.
Like the color schemes.
Yeah, golden black and blue. So even though he's got a Thundercracker color, slapping in some more black and some seemingly lightning bolts onto him makes his vehicle mode have a bit more oomph to it, which is nice.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any good clear pictures of Cyclonus, at least here for some reason. There's a few shots of him, but they're always far away from his jet mode for some unknown reason, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's weird. So
I can't really ask you about them, I'm afraid, Mikey.
The jet mode looks nice-ish.
From what we can see, yeah.
From what we can see.
So. Yeah. The Fallen, though, Mikey.
The
Fallen.
He looks like the Fallen.
He do.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It is stylized, which, you know, automatically gains my interest a bit more.
Sure.
It does slightly look like what it is, which is we have Tarn and we made him look more like the Fallen. Which the color scheme will sell that more than the toy design, I think.
Why are the two, like, it's got a CG render image of Chaos Raven, and there are two Chaos Ravens?
He's got, like, there's one with an accessory set, I think, like, different accessories.
But he looks small, like, the other one has the shoulder pads, like, out to the sides, a little bit more, and a cape, and a different head design.
Yeah, maybe it's, oh god, what it's gonna be like, and then Starscream was the Fallen.
Oh, see, I'm thinking this is more pre him becoming the Fallen, and then
like
he is the
Megatronus.
Fallen. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Still a stupid name.
Yeah, I wish I could be excited by the Fallen, but unfortunately, like, Jai showed me an image earlier this week as well, and I looked at it and was like, I just don't care about the Fallen.
Yeah, like, the Fallen was a gimmick of basically, why is that robot on fire? We all then sort of pretended it had a character and it mattered, and then anytime they've done him in fiction, it's never really worked.
No, he kind of has the Unicron problem. I think because he goes more down the mythology base,
Yeah.
They don't know. I think it's harder for them to figure out what to do with him, because if you make him a character, you take away the mythological element, perhaps, of the grandeur of him being a mythological character. I don't know. I can't get behind the Fallen, even though he sometimes has a decent-ish design, eye-catching at the very least.
Yeah.
Were there any other Iron Factory stuff here that was shown that we didn't talk about that you wanted to throw in there? Because, I mean, we didn't talk about Mirage, but, he's just translucent, so...
Most of the rest of the stuff is stuff we've already seen.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. There were a couple of other figures at SGC that didn't show up in the news story, though.
Yes, like I mentioned, the Iron Warriors were present as well. For some reason, they didn't get their own, like, oh, hey, it's coming, for some reason. I thought these were pretty important when I saw them. As soon as I saw the images, I sent them to you. I was like, Mikey!
Yep.
So who do we have? We know Prime's been made and has came out. Megatron is coming at some point. We got the announcement a while ago. Did we get images for Knockout?
We had a sort of 3D schematic of, like, his legs.
That's right, yeah. We didn't have a full-on prototype. We have this time a full-on prototype of Knockout.
And perfect pose.
Yes, perfect pose, quite right. And we see clearly who the next project is as well, which is Ultra Magnus with the hammer.
A very sensible one to do, retool Prime into Magnus.
Yeah, it's fairly easy. It's a decent character who, again, hasn't had much nods to himself.
Nope,
which is
and
a shame.
he got kind of screwed over at the end of the show because I have a feeling that Michael Ironside was very expensive.
I have a feeling you might be right, yeah. I think it's a safe assumption to say that for Knockout, he'll probably come with his chainsaw arm, and with Magnus, he'll probably come with his little hand claw.
Yeah, I'd also say, if Knockout doesn't come with the staff, I'll be amazed.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Chainsaw and staff.
You know what? He should come with, and I really hope he does now, and I'm getting overly excited.
Oh.
A little buffer.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Cause, like, from the scene where he tries to buff himself and complaining about Breakdown being dead. Because how am I supposed to make myself pretty without him?
Important question, Mikey, that you might remember. Does Prime come with multiple faces?
Yes, he does, I think.
Okay, good, because that should theoretically mean then that we get some Knockout faces.
Oh, you've gotta get a Knockout smirk face.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because he's got kind of a neutral-looking face, and it would be really lame if that's all he got with him.
Oh, and he could come with, like, that battered face he had in that one episode, where he doesn't take any real damage, his face just gets scratched up.
That'd be fun. Yeah, you were fairly excited to see Knockout. I think that's safe to say.
A tad. I mean, let's not exaggerate, Andy. I haven't started a fund. What are you talking about?
No.
It's fine. Shut up.
You didn't throw out on Twitter, like, this is... you understood what it meant to have a body pillow.
No, what I meant was, I now know what it's like to want to print someone onto a pillow and poke a hole in a bit of the pillow.
I'm just saying, Mikey, that there is more than likely a Knockout body pillow out there if you wanted one.
Yeah, but those are all stylized. I want, like, this is where my stylization. I want proper Knockout. I don't want, like, less sexy Knockout because we made him more anime. Knockout's already sexy.
Okay.
Knockout is my man crush, and no one can take this away from me.
Okay, I was just trying to determine, where the lines are drawn. I think it's important.
The line is, don't let Darren Norris near me. Say the line. What line? Any line.
Any line. All the lines. So I mean, if we've got Knockout coming and we've got Ultra Magnus, that's a fairly healthy way to go. Again, it would be nice if after these two, maybe do Arachnid, because her toys are always shit, or the few that she has are shit. And the best way to do this line, in my opinion, and it could be the wrong business decision, is to do the characters who have had the worst toys. Yeah.
I think that would be not the worst thing in the world. Like, then again, I would also, like, say, like, maybe have like an Arachnid, but then have like a Breakdown in there as well.
Sure. Or if you do Arachnid, you then do RC straight after, or vice versa, because then you have the team, and it's like, oh, okay. That's how I'd like to see them paired up. But then if we got a Ratchet, that'd be pretty nice. I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see a Ratchet a lot.
Who are?
Yeah, we could get. He never had a bad toy, but I would like a Starscream.
That's true. Yeah.
Like,
especially with lots of faces for expressions.
It would be nice to have a Soundwave that wasn't compromised by having to transform.
Yes.
Even though that was a very good toy.
Yeah, it was one of the better ones, but yeah, like you say, they did well with what they were trying to do.
Yeah. And a decent hard shell would be nice.
Yeah, definitely, since we only got one toy of him.
And it was a legend.
It was, and it was wee. It was so
It was
wee.
so wee.
It was so wee. That's all of the things here, unless, Mikey, you had something else you wanted to throw out.
There is one more toy that was revealed at SGC,
Oh?
but it also had some images online and Instagram, and it is from, I believe it's Toy World, yeah, a third-party triple-changing shatter named Grinder. So this is a semi-masterpiece scaled figure, which turns from a slightly compact muscle car into the kind of Harrier jet, I think, that Shatter turned into a pretty damn model-accurate version of Shatter. I don't know how well this will transform or anything else, but I hear real good things about the Toy World stuff at the moment, from their sort of semi-movie series. And, yeah, just looking at this looks on point. This looks very on point. And Shatter's awesome, and I love Shatter, so I think it's really, really good that we've got, because of the Studio Series that got announced a couple of weeks ago, 2 decent Shatter figures announced within a couple of weeks after nothing for how long? Since the terrible Muscle Car Deluxe.
Oh, yeah.
But the reviews for the Shatter Deluxe are very good so far.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And it's, I think it was very wise of them to go, okay, we're doing Shatter, but we're just going to make the robot mode the standard robot mode. We're not going to do what we did with Dropkick and give him sort of a new one. It's just like, he turns into, this is her turning into a jet from her triple changer body. We're not going to talk about it. It's fine.
It was probably a wise decision for them to. I mean, it's a good way to sell more toys as well, but it's probably a smart thing of them not to have made them triple changes.
Yeah, well, like in the deluxe scale, because they were never going to be anything but.
No, and even Voyager scale, trying to do the movie designs as triple changes and keep them looking like they did on screen. Oof, I think they need a much higher budget.
There.
Yeah,
Would not want to be the designer.
No, exactly. Mikey, there was also another bit of news for third party this week, wasn't there?
Oh, God, was there? Yes, there was, if you give me a moment to reopen it. This one, the other end of the movie scale of, I can't get excited about this.
Yes.
At all, although I'm sure the engineering on this will be some sort of black magic, given their previous record. But Unique Toys have announced the UTR-04 Nero, which is their version of Age of Extinction Galvatron, which is a 2012 Freightliner Argosy truck that turns into robot Frank Welker. It is very movie accurate in robot mode.
Yes.
Which, in Galvatron's case, means it's an utter mess.
Yes.
It comes with a tiny little man.
I do like the fact it comes with a tiny man. I don't know why it comes with a tiny man.
It doesn't seem to be any of the tiny men that were in the movie. It just seems to be a tiny man.
Yeah, bald-headed with shades and a suit for some reason.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was Kelsey Grammer at first, but then I went, no, that's the wrong movie.
The alt mode looks fairly clean. Obviously these are prototypes, so nothing's 100%, but this guy looks well designed. He looks like he's going to be featured. He looks like he's going to look like a real good representation of a design I hate.
Yeah, and I think the movies hated it as well, because do you remember how there was that explanation of how he went from Galvatron back to Megatron between those two movies?
What, chloroform?
Yeah.
We were asking the question and they said, spell this.
It was the, look, there's a squirrel ploy.
Squirrel!
Ah! Yeah, that was a... yeah, they what were they doing? They didn't know. Giant hole in his chest as well. But like you say, I would agree. It looks like he should, from what I recall. Like you say, very pipey. I forgot how many fucking pipes this design has on it. And I'm sure, like, when it's all painted up, it's going to look good, because, it'll hopefully have some dirt slapped onto the pipes as well. But certainly not for me either. Shall I take us on to the next little thing, Mikey?
Please do.
Yeah, we've got more stuff from the Nezha X Transformers thing, and I guess we've learned a bit more about it. For some reason, the video is now unavailable to play. I did watch it originally,
I'm watching it now.
No, it won't let me.
I'm rewatching it now, rather.
It won't let me. It must have just looked at me and went, "Oh, no, for you." Oh no, it's working again. I wonder why. So yeah, we talked about this a while ago. I don't think we knew for certain it was a crossover with Cyberverse when we originally talked about it.
No, the Cyberverse thing this is the first confirmation of it.
Yes, and I will say that the images that they show of the Cyberverse stuff and the harder Chinese stuff almost look like two different shows badly edited together.
The design for Nezha feels like it's done by a different studio, and some of the
Do you mean the human form, or do you mean the robot form?
Well, but on the human, and like some of the angles and stuff on the faces, they're way too smooth in a way.
Yeah.
Like it looks like they got hold of the Cyberverse models and then did their own animation. Like I'm not sure. Like I'm just making a guess. They're saying it's by Allspark Studios, which would technically probably mean it was Boulder, but it doesn't look like Boulder stuff. It also, like, I don't mean this as an insult to Boulder, because I do enjoy Cyberverse. The action animation is fair smooth in this.
It is, yeah, definitely,
and a lot more. Got a lot more flair to it.
Yeah, it feels like this studio has either doing something different or being given more money to do more stuff with it, and I don't know which. Or more freedom. That's fair.
I'm also kind of shocked it's going to be 52 episodes.
Yeah,
even if it is like 10 minutes each.
Yeah, that's what it says. The new project will have its own 52 episode animated series by Allspark Studios, like you said, targeted for the Chinese market, but it may be released globally too. We'll see.
I don't know how this would take some this is just looking at a soundless trailer. This is very Chinese.
It's very Chinese, and I don't think they'd be willing to dub it.
Yeah,
we could be wrong. They did it for Energon, so
true.
Additionally, it will have its own toy line, which we've mentioned before, and we'll mention in a bit as well. I will say that the robot designs are almost good, but
they're fine.
The reason why I say almost good, because they've done the one thing which I don't like, and it's you've decided that for some reason the robots will have flesh-colored parts.
That only works with Street Fighter.
And even then, it was kind of weird.
Yeah,
we liked it. We liked it because it was weird. This, because we know it is meant to be a small child small person
deity.
A deity turning into a robot.
Which is also why is the deity turning into a robot?
Yeah, it's a really fucking weird idea. I'm not sure.
It makes her face look very babyish.
Yeah, actually, the human form makes me think of Code Lyoko. Do you remember how they were nothing but forehead?
Oh god,
they were nothing but forehead for those designs, and it's not as egregious, not nearly, but still got like there's a lot of forehead in this design.
Code Lyoko basically was what Stewie wanted to be in Family Guy.
Jesus, yeah, I'd never liked Code Lyoko.
I don't remember it very well, if I'm honest.
I remember the intro and me going no. I did that a lot. I the format being 10 minutes, I'm still like, really? Can we even China? Come on, China.
I don't know.
Come on, China. Do half an hour episodes.
Did they say 10 minutes? I said 52.
You said 10 minutes.
I said probably 10.
Oh, okay.
I said I expect it to be 10.
Maybe if it's half an hour, I'll be like, all right, China. Oh, no. If you click on the link, there's a little thing that says, however, much like Transformers Cyberverse, each episode is only 11 minutes long. Come on, China. Okay. I'm gonna restate that one. Come on, China.
There's a lot of people commenting in the comment section about politics.
Oh, good. This is the place for that. Fantastic.
Lot of people going on about China politics.
China.
And also attacking the British Empire, the global strength of the British Empire.
Oh my god.
Oh, for God's sake.
Can we not just talk about the cartoon?
Why are you... Don't bring bloody Brexit into this.
It's just a cartoon.
A Euro...
Set in China. Geez. Well, set for the Chinese market.
Oh, God.
This is why you should never read anything on the internet, Mikey.
Oh God! Oh God! I'm getting dumber as I go further down.
Did you miss this, Mikey?
Oh,
Did you miss this?
Someone complaining about why people in Chinese animation have Chinese accents.
What?
Or someone said another one. This is the problem is the self-insert character Nezha, and I'm just like, do you not know that Nezha is a guardian deity specifically of cars, and also I believe she's up in Journey to the West.
Did you say specifically of cars?
Yeah, she's like she's become, or he's become. I don't know really what the gender identity is, but Nezha has you know how like in China and Japan a lot of traditional spirits end up playing new roles in society.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like I know in Japan there's some spirit who is the guardian patron spirit of people at crossing walks. To make sure you're safe.
I know about
she is the guardian deity of car drivers and transport.
No, I didn't know that. I know that there is at least one in Japan for blacksmithing, which is like for very, very traditional blacksmithers, which there are a handful at best in Japan. The master katana maker is like, we don't allow women in here because they have the belief that it angers the god. So it's one of those like it's a belief. It's like, whatever. It's their culture. But that's what I knew about that. I'd heard of Nezha before, but I didn't know she or they, we'll say they because it's easier, had become the deity of cars. That's kind of interesting. It's a really smart choice then, I suppose, for this, even if it looks a bit freaky. And speaking of looking a bit freaky, Mikey, we have the toy. We have in-hand images of this toy. And although I still really, really aggressively don't like the human flesh color, aggressively don't like it. Yeah. The toy looks pretty fucking good. Yeah. For what it is.
Looks like a warrior. But it looks high. Like articulation seems on point. Posability over. Like we see it in some good poses. Not amazing poses, but good poses. Yep. Accessories are interesting. I like the gimmick, which everyone is saying it's a brain master, and I'm just like, well, no, it's a person in a mech suit.
Yeah. Oh no, Mikey, don't say that. You'll make people mad.
Okay, so guys, so the Brainmaster thing, apart from the head popping up, was just something they ripped off of Japanese anime mech shows that have been going on since the bloody 60s. Yeah. So, what she's doing is what everyone else is doing. It's not a reference. At all.
I guess if you wanted to go for a reference, she's doing a guy from Gao Gai Ga, like she's fusing with the suit.
She's just... God.
I say that because it doesn't look like when you put it in, there's a seat for it.
Yeah, true. She just sort of stands there. I would love that. It's just like she has to stand there and work little pedals with her feet.
Like you say, the fig actually looks fairly decent. Got decent articulation. It's probably I'm not sure if the equivalent is more like the warrior figures we've had in the past, or if it's more equivalent to the deluxe figures that are coming out. Well, that are out now.
I would say it reminds me of the RID warriors, not the Cyberverse warriors.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, it's not laden with gimmicks. I will say that for some reason they've gone really, really heavy with the black around the eyes for the human figure version.
Yeah, she looks like she needs to stop that heavy drinking session. See,
I was thinking if you repainted her with black clothing, you got yourself a goth version. It's weird because there are I think there are one or two designs from the trailer that might look better than this that I might be interested in. It's weird. It's a bizarre toy. It's kind of interesting to see. The weapons do not look good on the vehicle. I think that's fair to say. They're just plopped on the roof, but...
Yep. The wonderful world of weapon storage.
Yes. We see on the back as well, we see Li Zexing. I'm taking it.
Genji?
Genji? No, isn't Gen with a X? I don't know. Tu Xing Sung, I think, is the other one. The Nezha doesn't look... Is that this figure, or is that from a different line?
I don't
because
know.
it looks different. Because the feet on the picture of the Nezha for the sold separately thing, the feet aren't colored, the hands aren't colored. It looks like a different toy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
these,
it is. The arms are different.
yeah. So
The arms are completely different.
I will say that these ones don't look very good compared to this. So I'm hoping that this line continues. More so than
this could be the gimmick line. You know.
Oh wow! So the gimmick line might be better than the
what I mean is
standard line.
Well, I think like the gimmick of her going in, but I think the pictures we're seeing at the bottom might be the gimmick line.
Oh, right. I thought you meant this was the gimmick line, and the other one was the more deluxe stuff. And I was like, oh man, the gimmick line's way better. For scale wise, if you wondered, they are the same. Well, just a little smaller than Siege Sideswipe. So there you go. So interesting. It's bizarre. It's weird. It's kind of neat. I don't know. I guess they chose Cyberverse just because it's, out. So yeah, we'll see more of this in the future. Mikey, do you want to take us on to, and you can also talk about the Raiden project.
Raiden. So the Takara Tomy design team have come out about Raiden project. So this was announced at the train show there a few weeks back. And they were speaking to Hisashi Yuki and Koji Ono and Onora Daisuke. All like people who've worked on various toys. Daisuke's actually worked on the G-Shock Watch Optimus thing, which
cool.
But yeah, they've given a few little bit of facts about Raiden, confirming it is in fact a masterpiece figure. So. No official release date. The entire point of this is to bring real trains to the great train fan base in Japan, which I heard some people laughing at, and I just like,
you don't get Japan.
You have no concept.
Yeah. When your train system is as fucking good as the one in Japan, you'd fucking love trains as well. Yeah.
And the project will be taken on by the senior Takara Tomy designers, so it's probably going to be under the main Masterpiece guys. So I think that is very interesting. A lot of people are going like 6 new molds, that this thing is going to cost an arm and a leg. It is going to be 3 new molds. There are going to be 2 repaints in there.
Is that what the original toy was?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
And if they're going for toy accuracy,
which
are even show accuracy. Also, I think these will be a lot, like the individual toys will be simpler than a lot of the G1 Masterpiece we've had, just because of the nature of how they'll transform.
They have to be.
So I would hope this thing is like not like if the whole set was 500. Like I would get that if it was like Masterpiece engineering all around.
You see, Mikey, after watching Jobby's video on Bumblebee, I don't have much faith in them trying to sell us them for a cheap price.
Yeah, well, hopefully
that figure's very small and not
that
very
figure's
good.
Also like ridiculously complicated to achieve nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whereas Black Arachnia, I think, is more reasonably priced for what she is.
For the most part.
I think she suffers and basically physics are not on her side.
No,
it's not possible. Even the black is magic.
I wish she was front heavy. I wish that was a problem. And then there could be many a joke made.
Top heavy.
No, not top. Front heavy.
She's remarkably well balanced.
She is, oddly enough. Big feet.
Yeah, but basically, as long as these are better and more reasonably priced than fucking Optimus. Because, oh my god, especially when Nemesis came out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we saw how he's going to cost, what, 200? 250?
Something like that. It's going to be like 100, 150, or maybe 200 cheaper than the Prime one, just because there's no trailer.
I checked. I saw from one retailer $250 less.
Oh, for trailer.
Why the fuck would you ever buy the other figure?
But Mikey, the trailer does so much, and it opens up, and it's got the crane, and it's got roller. Ooh.
I'm already sick enough.
Hose.
You're sickening me. You're sickening me with your lies.
Yeah. I'm giving you truths. Sad, lying truths.
Before we go on though, and you forgot a bit of third-party news you mentioned.
Oh no!
You fool!
No! What did I forget?
Even alive. The picture you sent them to me.
Oh god, yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is because I think this is a fairly new story. Yeah, it went up today at some point. New Age have shown images of surprise, I suppose, because I didn't know shit about this. The
No.
New Age Pizzeria. The New Age Pizzeria are 4 Brawns. Brawn toys. I assume they've done a Brawn. If they haven't done a Brawn. If they haven't done Brawn yet, they're doing Brawn. But more importantly, this is way more
They haven't done
interesting.
Brawn yet. If they haven't done Brawn yet, and this is how they're starting.
See, honestly, I don't think they've done Brawn yet. I honestly don't think they've done Brawn
I don't know.
yet.
I don't honestly know.
And I'd say this is 1,000 times more interesting than Brawn. I'm sorry, Brawn fans. Yep. I'm sure all 2 of you out there are very sad. And I'm not even talking about the two Brawn fans in terms of people who listen to the show, which is limited. I'm meaning across the world. There are 2 Brawn fans. No, I'm telling the truth. Nice teaser out the window. So what is the pizzeria? The pizzeria, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Hero Turtles, depending where you are in the world. They're using the Brawn mold. They have been slightly resculpted, and they have new heads and chests.
New chests, yeah.
And maybe some other bits. And they also come with their iconic weapons, so the bow staff, the nunchakus, the sai, and I would say the katanas, but they're probably more ninja toes, I think. Even though they're way smaller than they should be.
Well, normally they're the katanas, but this time I think they are indeed ninja toes.
Yeah. Oddly enough, they should have always been ninja toes, really. Ninjas. Never mind. So, the interesting thing about these turtles is the fact that the heads have not been designed to look like robot turtles. They have just been, normal Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuck on a square or a rectangle. Very, very much like what you would imagine Motormaster from G1.
Yeah,
that kind of idea.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy.
Yeah. One issue, it's not an issue, not really, but one thing that I think they're missing is around their waist. I think the waist should have been painted to have more of their belt look.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But that's a very, very minor thing that is not that important.
Yeah. Also, the vehicle modes, the bonnet of the car has pizza painted on it with individual colors.
Yes.
And this is nuts, and I love it.
Yeah, and the lights on bronze mode, on the roof again have been color coordinated as well for each turtle. So this is great. Maybe it would have been nice if you had like an Energon cube pizza or pizza slice that each of them came with. That might have been nice. Not a big deal, but
nope.
These are great. These are really fun, stupid, and really just fun. If I wanted to throw out another piece of shade, it might be nice to have a different head mold for each, so you got a different expression to give them the character. Not a big deal, not that important. It just would have been a nice little extra. So you could have had Mikey with a big old smile, Raph super angry, Donatello looking confused.
Yeah.
And then just have the standard face with Leo because he's boring. He's always boring. What do you think of these, Mikey? Because we don't have any prices on these, as far as I'm aware.
These are amazingly good fun.
Yeah, have you scrolled down to see the other the other pictures of them in like more action poses?
Yep, I think these things turned out incredibly well, and I think this is just such a clever use of the mold.
Do you think they're going to be selling them as a 4-pack? Because I don't think you can. Well, I mean, you could. I don't know why you would.
I hope it's a 4-pack.
Yeah, I don't know why you would.
Pizzeria.
I don't know why you'd sell them individually. It's weird.
Just sell it as a 4-pack. I can't imagine anyone who's buying one of them. Like, I wanted my favorite turtle, but you might just.
I could see some people buying one of them, but mainly just to be like a tester, or be like, I already like Raph.
I don't like Raph.
No, you don't. No one likes Raph. That's a lie.
I like Raph.
Everyone likes Raph. It's Rob Paulson, so.
We're all Rob Paulson inside.
How much would this be? Like, I'd hope it wouldn't be more than
Not a clue.
80.
For
the 4.
It will depend on how much the base figure would cost, I think.
I can't be more than 20, because I think New Age are one of the cheaper ones.
I know they were. I think they're the ones that did a lot of knockoffs before they started moving into original stuff. That's right.
Yeah, I think they're the ones that did the small train Bumblebee as well. And I think most of those ones were all like around 20-ish. That one was more. I think that was 34 because it was
the train was bigger. Like 40 or 50.
Was it? Was it that much?
Yeah, I've got them.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I don't know if it was new. No, it wasn't New Age that did the train. I think.
Was it not? Who was it that did the train?
I can't remember, but I don't think it was New Age.
All right. Oh, that was Mech Planet, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm thinking of Mech Planet. I'm getting confused. Yeah, because they're all the same. Yeah, okay, Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit of news, or do you want me to do it, or what? No, you can do the next bit, and then I can do the last three.
Yeah, quick bit of news here.
Yeah.
Cyberverse revealed via the Walmart mobile app is that we're getting an ultra class Skull Cruncher. So he just shows up in the mobile app, but it's just confirmation that the name Skull Cruncher is being used. There's also the listing for Cyberverse ultra class Thunder Howl, who we know because of the deluxe figures is coming to the show. We don't know anything about Thunder Howl, but it's something to keep an eye on. Yeah, and that's it. That is the sum total of Cyberverse.
It's weird though that Skullcruncher's coming to Cyberverse though, right? Because he's not in at the moment, is he?
No,
the show.
No, he's not in the show. But I don't know. Depends on like. So far, they've only been largely adapting various G1 characters, so there's been a few exceptions in there, but so it's maybe they're just like, okay, now we're going to move into other G1 characters.
Yeah, because most of the characters Cyberverse have done so far have all been in the show, right? They haven't done any toy onlys, I don't think.
No, they haven't.
They've done like gimmick toy onlys currently, as far as I'm aware, but not like just a character one. So I guess we're getting Skullcruncher maybe in the future, at least as a background character, I suppose. So yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Let me, Mikey, tell you about the guests that are coming to conventions across the world.
Conventions!
But not really across the world. I mean, they're across the ocean.
Literally.
Yeah.
Across a large part of the world.
That's true. TFCon Orlando 2020. That's 2020 for those people that don't know, I guess. We have Josh Delbo. Jose Delbo. Artist for the G1 comics. If you're wondering what they've worked on, they did the classic, I'm assuming the American comics rather than the British ones. So they did 36 to 42, 45 to 54, 56 to 60, 63 to 64, and 67. And that run was between 1988 and 1990. So if you know your old school comics, this will be your jam. Go say hello. Shake the hands, get some comics signed. One comic per visit, maybe 2 or 3, no more than that. Don't be a dick. Go back to the line and then get the rest of them signed. That's how it works. Sometimes people don't know. It's worth mentioning. Over in this world being the UK, we have 2 announcements for TF Nation 2020. We have the Nick of the Roche, the Roshi man, Roshalopoulos, who is known, of course, for doing lots of work on the IDW comics, as well as Sins of the Wreckers, Requiem of the Wreckers, and, of course, Last Stand of the Wreckers. He's the Wrecker Boy. And we have the other guy who's coming down, which is John Paul Bovey, who has done a load of colouring for a load of different comics, including Devastation, Drift Empire of Stone, and some of the UK Marvel Marvel UK storylines as well. So, Mikey, what do you think? These 3 guests coming?
Fine people, attractive people in their own right.
Yes. Any other thoughts?
But...
Oh well, no, of course not. Yeah, that's it. That's our news for this week. Unless Mikey had anything else he wanted to throw in news-wise.
Well, there's nothing new, but there was one thing in the news last week that I just had to give a bit of background for.
Oh no, okay.
So we had the Hero X Generations 2020 comic announced, didn't we?
Yes.
And the artist, which is Satoshi Urushihara. There we go. And I was as always, I'm curious, and they said, he's got a close relationship with Transformers. And I was like, okay, another fan. And then it turns out he is like old school G1.
Oh yeah, super old school.
Because he was one of the actual key animators for Generation 1 cartoon.
Oh really? Do you have any idea like which episodes he worked on? Was he
Not yet. He doesn't have a lot of wiki present on it.
Interesting.
But he also provided a lot of the mechanical designs for the Transformers the movie, and apparently animated some of the more well-known scenes.
Ooh.
So, and the guy has a very distinct Transformers style.
Yeah.
But why I had to do this was because the guy is actually, you may never have heard of him, but he is very well known in Japanese animator circles. He does manga, he does illustrations. He is known as Master of Breasts.
Is that his actual title? Or is this your title for him?
That is his well-known, internationally recognized title.
Okay.
He looks like a very pleasant man. Just looking at a photo of him at of him in Marseille in 2010. So, I mean, it's something else. So basically, after his work in Transformers, he went into manga, specifically hentai.
Okay.
And ecchi, so boobs and more boobs. And basically by like the mid 90s had kind of apparently, like I was just doing reading on him, had apparently kind of redefined a lot of the artistic style used in Japanese cartoon porn. That's
pretty impressive, if that's the case.
I just looked at the Wikipedia page for some of the stuff he's done, like the manga and anime, and like I can tell you I haven't seen most of his work, but I have seen 90s anime. I can tell you there are 90s anime that are influenced by his style.
Are you saying he is the Jim Lee of hentai?
I think he is the Jim Lee of hentai, yes. I think he might be the Stan Lee of hentai.
Although
I suppose that...
Wow.
That might be Nagai, Go Nagai. But, like, he's the Stan Lee... He's like the Stan Lee of New Age dark comics, in the mid-90s, the dark era.
Yeah.
But, like, if you've seen stuff like Ray Earth or... There was a series of magical girl animes that were kind of fun. I can't remember the name, but that came out in like the early 2000s. Just looking at pictures of his style, like he's influenced a lot of stuff. And why didn't I have safe search on when I hit scroll down? I shouldn't have hit scroll down. But he's also like done a lot of work for a game over in Japan that's really well known called Landgrizer, which I've never heard of, but which is getting a PS4 remake done by Atlas.
Oh, okay. I'm interested now. You say Atlas.
He's done a lot of animes. Again, none I've seen except for he's worked on Bubblegum Crisis.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, which was a real interesting cyber suit show back in the 90s. And this, Plastic Little, which was a one-off OVA that is one of only 2 animes to have that were published by ADV to have the jiggle counter. The other one was Burn Up. Do you remember Burn Up?
No.
Burn Up XS, which I used to watch in Sci-Fi, was hilarious. It was also completely unapologetic.
Okay.
And it basically, I feel like, led to what Gainax's approach to like action scenes with women, which is just basically the women stop moving and yet they still move.
Gravity continues to move their bosoms.
Yes. Their bosoms have a life of their own. So Plastic Little, which apparently came out, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page now, in 1994, was also... the jiggle counter is trademarked by ADV. I didn't know that.
I do have a question. Does the jiggle counter count per jiggle, or like when the jiggle begins to when it ends?
I had the Burn Up Excess DVDs.
Right.
I do remember this, and it was per jiggle. It was per jiggle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which, by the way, in Burn Up, basically, I'm surprised it didn't explode. But yeah, like, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And just, like, is really well respected in, like, animation circles in general because of the influence. Because a lot of hentai stuff spun off into mainline stuff as the series, as time went on.
Yep.
Like, think of your favorite anime series, guys. At least 3 of those are based off porn. And I mean 3 out of every 10.
Sure.
So I'm very curious because also his Transformers art is excellent. He's done a very well known piece, which is a Megatron head with an Optimus standing in front of it, and it's really, really good. And just a picture here that they've got in TFW of his RC, and it looks like Cup. Just that art style, I'm really interested to see how they look. I also don't think it's going to be a case of RC being super sexualized because he worked on RC back in the day and is probably more familiar with her as just RC. I think she'll probably have a lot of thigh,
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be like, behold, big Firebird level of breastage.
I think it'd be more surprising just because it would stand out compared to what I assume the rest of the book would be.
Oh, I bet it would.
Yeah. So he's probably not the kind of artist to do that. I mean, if the rest of the book was like that, he'd probably say, fuck it, and just go dick deep in, but, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
In his debut in hentai, his name was kept a secret because he was working on children's animation.
So clearly he wanted to do that work. That's really interesting. Because usually the way I assumed it went was you start off like in the hentai kind of area and then you move up to projects that you wanted to work on. And he was like, nah, I'm doing Transformers and kid stuff. Oh, that's fine. I just want to get schmutty.
I know there are like names in the hentai circuit that do go into regular animation, but are like the guy who did Elfen Lied is apparently a name in the hentai circuit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And like apparently like because someone told me like, yeah, if you watch Elfen Lied and have seen his other stuff, you can see a lot of crossover in the visuals, but he does more porn than he does regular animation.
See, I was going to say including the blood and the dying, because there's a lot of that in Elfen Lied, right?
Well, yes, but it is, that you can take that down to the source material.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I know that apparently it ends very differently and is a lot more depressing, but I don't know how that show gets more depressing.
It's a show. It's a show. Anything else then, Mr. Mikey? Is that you've done then?
That is it for Transformers.
Right, well, I'm going to kick us over and ask, what have you been up to these past few weeks? What have you done for fun, apart from not, dying?
Always fun. I've done a few... I've done a few things. I won't go into all of them. Because I've had a lot of free time on my hands. I have caught up on 01, which is up to episode 15 now. Episode 15, real interesting, some plot stuff. They pulled something with the character of Izu that I was just sort of like, I've been thinking like, are they going to have that moment? And they did, which was real interesting. More setup, like it feels like the plot's about to like, he's just like, right, I've given you time to settle in, and we're getting ready to go. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. Ruby cut up on. I have to admit, this is being a weaker season. I see what they're doing, and I see why they're doing it. They're trying to do it a lot more low key because they're doing a bit more of a political thriller effect.
Right.
But I think that there was better energy in the last few seasons. Also, there's a thing with Nora and Ren where they finally delve into their relationship, but they don't really set it up very well. It just sort of comes in like in one episode, and it's actually well handled in that episode. I'm just like, shouldn't we been having hints that this was coming? I can't say it's bad or anything because all the concepts are like they're the same concepts. When the action's there, it's excellent, and it's just like I think the plot was better handled like more recently in other seasons, but like they've been going for 7 seasons now. I'm going to allow them a little leeway to have a bum note in there every now and then.
Okay.
Watched a very interesting documentary on what was it called? Not regression syndrome. I mentioned it today on Facebook. I'll just double check. It's basically a condition whereby people who are children who are under severe stress basically pass into a coma, and then stay like that until the stress passes, and they can stay there for years. It's apparently very, very common in children of refugees.
Right.
But the weird thing is almost all the cases in the world are happening in Sweden.
Oh, right. Okay.
It does happen in other, apparently it's being reported in Australia, but the vast majority of cases are happening in Sweden. And also there were some fairly harrowing interviews of people of what led people to becoming refugees. Just not fun.
It sounds a bit on the harrowing side, shall we say?
It was. What was it called? Oh! I nearly had it there. Resignation syndrome. It's called.
Huh.
So look that up if you want to learn something. Rewatch some animes more than watch new animes. Found out there is an SSSS series coming.
Yeah, a new one, right?
Yeah, and apparently it's going to bring in the dinosaur robot.
Yeah, like when I heard this news, I was happy, but I was like, how do you do that? Because you've taken away the antagonist in theory.
Yeah, but you've taken away an antagonist.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And now they've made it a whole world. It can have all the antagonists it wants.
It's interesting. I'm
my
looking
thing
forward
is,
to see where it goes.
how are you going to do this show? Like, is Akane going to come back? Because
Yeah.
she was the best thing about that show. She was my absolute favorite thing about that show in terms of character.
Mm-hmm.
Like the action was also amazing, and the animation was beautiful, and everything else was. I loved all the other characters as well. It was a great show. You should all watch it. But I can't imagine that universe without Akane involved.
That's the thing. That's why it's weird to see that it's kind of going to continue.
Yeah, it's called Dynazenon, which is an interesting name. As long as Grid Knight's big in it.
That's all you want, some more Grid
Yeah.
Knight.
Oh, I just want the Grid Knight show. But yeah, there was also didn't see any major movies. Like I said, been watching a bit of animation here and there, and a bit of just nothing super massive. Bar one thing. Mandalorian, I am now up to date on.
I think I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind, but I'm not that fussed about it, really.
Honestly, I like it. It's like people are complaining about the length of time and the fact there's no through line. And I'm saying that's kind of the whole point. This is Lone Wolf and Cub. This is Samurai Jack. This is a very Japanesey Western show about the wandering gunslinger and his charge, or the wandering Ronin and his charge, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
And it's a day-to-day event. It's not about and there is a big threat constantly coming down on them. It's like, and these are the shenanigans to get involved in. I like the most recent one. I liked a lot. It did some very interesting framing stuff. Also, Clancy Brown is in it. But I love the music of the show. I mean, it's not amazing. It's not an amazing show. It's not particularly deep. It's not particularly meaningful. I think people hailing it as, oh my god, the best show ever, are insane.
Yeah.
But every show is the best show ever when it comes out. But yeah, it's good. It's worth watching. I would say, and the episodes are usually not super long, so it's not a big sink of your time. I will admit I don't think Baby Yoda is the cutest thing ever.
It's fine.
It's not. It just kind of he looks kind of sad all the time.
Yeah, he's 50 years old and he's a baby. I'd be sad too.
His face is always like, but it's not it basically just it's Yoda but smaller.
Yeah.
There is a very funny moment in 6 where he goes to use his force power, something happens, and he just sort of looks at his hand and is like, did I do that? But he's fine. I don't think, and he doesn't take away from the series in any way. I think he's an interesting addition. He's just not something I'd get super excited about.
Well, you and I then, Mikey, are in the massive minority because people fucking have a hard on for Baby Yoda.
Excuse me.
I tell you this every time. It's like, hey, Mikey. Luckily, he doesn't act like a dog, which is their usual thing. He acts like a baby, which is the next easy thing for people.
Oh
to
my god! If he was like a dog, I would find that funnier. Also, the Baby Yoda memes. There's only 2 scenes I can think that are memeable.
Which are
the drinking soup scene and the turning the switches scene.
Yeah, I see a lot of the Baby Yoda sipping tea thing, and that's pretty good. There was a quite a nice one where it's like, bro, it's like, yo, bro, this is what life is like without you, bro. And he's like, bro, that's good. That's all right. Oh. It's not an amazing one, but it's like, it's nice. It's okay.
I will talk about one thing I watched at the end because it's a big one. But I did get some games. I traded in a bunch of stuff.
Oh my god!
I paid for nothing.
I still don't know if I want to. Because I've got my PlayStation, I don't know if I want to get rid of games now or not, and just keep them.
Yeah, I have to, because otherwise I'll just stare at them and I won't be able to get new games for them cheap. I finished Dead of Boy.
Yay. Okay, yeah, that's good.
You should get Dead of Boy. I I did everything in it that I wanted to do.
Luckily, I plan to. It's like really cheap. It's like 15 quid or something. So it's like, all right.
I beat the Valkyries. I saw the truth. That's an incredible game. That's an excellent game. Well worth anyone's time. Combat system is top notch. Enemy variety is probably its weakest point.
I could see that.
And like the map could be a bit better, But like the narrative is something else in terms of just like people complain about the mother not really mattering, but they're missing the point.
Yeah, what? Come on now. Come on now.
Like, she's dead. Of course, she only matters like tangentially. Except then there's some stuff later on that suggests she's more important, and will probably be more important later on.
Remember, Mikey, that no one likes single player games.
Well, they should, because people are idiots.
Says game companies like EA.
Yeah, but then EA made a single player Star Wars that people liked.
Yeah, because they realized, oh, hey, maybe people do.
Maybe we need good press.
These? Yeah, and probably some good press would be a nice change as well. Like maybe EA should actually make some games that aren't shit.
Yeah. I picked up Code Vein. I haven't spent a lot of time with Code Vein. I spent more time in the character creator.
Yes.
Which you can all see on Twitter if you want to look. I have my goal was to make the 2 most anime characters I could.
I'm surprised you didn't make Chris Kurisu, and you didn't make a mad scientist.
The thing is, you could.
I know. The customization is really good in that game.
I've never seen anything. It's not really good, Andy. I've never seen a customizer like this. You can customize like the worst thing is you don't have a lot of clothes variety.
Yes. Yeah, that's fair.
And everything else though, you can customize individual eyes down to like the light shine, pupil shape. You can customize, like, it's not just you can customize all the accessories. Then there's another option to make you put the accessories anywhere on the body you want them to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's got an arm accessory that can go on her leg, that can go on her head, that can go on her ear. So you can have her have a little backpack that's sticking out of her ear.
That's great.
The story was light for the few hours I played it. But it's very early days. The combat system's a little simplistic, but because of how the game's structured, it is not easy to just go in there and button mash.
Oh no,
you do
no.
Like it's not designed for it. The fan service caught me off guard just because I wasn't expecting it. But it's just like, nope, we're doing it, and I'm just like, I don't care. But
I mean that game looks. I think it's fair to say, it looks super anime.
Oh no, it is unapologetic, and it's done, I believe, by at least some of the team that did God Eater, which is also super anime.
Oh yeah, and, I didn't enjoy
it,
playing 2 because Jai gave me that, and I was just like, it's not my style. It's the Monster Hunter style, which isn't for me.
I played a bit of 3, and it was fine. But I'm curious. I want to get back into it when I get a chance. But I settled on a game from the buy to go into. I still have to go back to Persona 5.
Oh.
But my thing with that is that is such a time sink for me.
And you come up to the point where your version is going to be irrelevant soon. It's only a few months away till Royal comes out.
I'm sorry, Andy, but you need to accept the fact that I don't care.
Yeah, you do.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
Not even slightly.
You don't care about the new character?
No. I don't care about the new character in Persona, or... What? No, I don't... You know what? I don't even care about the new character in Persona 3. I just want the story, and I'm out of the way, and I'm enjoying myself. And if there's new stuff in the game, like new mechanics and things, that's fine. Like, sometimes they bring in stuff. Like, do you care about Margaret's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
I never played the PS Vita version of the game, to be fair.
But, like, I'm sorry.
I like Mari. Was her name Mari? She was neat.
She was alright, I think.
Yeah, she was fun. I liked her.
She was like the most Japanese design in the thing, though.
Oh, I mean, yeah, come on
now. But no, I'm sorry. Persona 5 will never be irrelevant to me because I will only probably play one version of it.
Sure.
And then I'll probably try out the Dynasty Warriors thing or whatever it is that's coming out.
Yeah, it looks interesting
game
because it looks like it's more than just a Dynasty Warriors because there's platforming and there's stealth stuff in there. So it's like, oh wow, it looks like they might be trying.
Because there's a stealth element to Persona 5 in its combat.
Yeah,
But like Persona is such a time sink for me because it will be at least 2 playthroughs.
Mm-hmm. So
I basically need time, which means I need to find days where no one's around, which are few and far between at the moment. Because otherwise it's just people saying like, so you gonna put on the TV yet? And I'm just like, fuck off. I got Bloodborne.
Woo!
That is hard.
How far you got?
Hard game. Not very far. Like, okay. I just did a bit kind of a test run.
Maybe playing Code Vein would be best because it'll kind of ease you into it because it's the same kind of combat.
Bloodborne feels like just play.
Yeah, I mean, there's that as well. There's a lot of you just got to bend over and take a lot of it until you get good.
I got an Danganronpa game.
Okay.
Which is a side story from that I've never heard of.
Mm.
Which I'm kind of curious about because it's a bit more. It's not just a visual novel. There's actual like controls and stuff like that.
All right.
So I'm curious. I also somewhere in my library I have the Danganronpa collection on Steam, and I like the visual novels, and I need to sit down to finish those. I've got a big pile of visual novels I still haven't finished. And I got Bloodstained, which is a 2D side.
It's Castlevania.
Yeah, it's Castlevania.
Yeah.
It has a story, which surprised me.
It's all right. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah. Again, the level of high boobage surprised me in the first 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the graphics was so retro in a way.
Yeah.
Like I forgot that these are going to be, the character models when they're there are going to be like normal top tier, and I'm just like, that's a lot of breastage. And then the first boss shows up, and you're just like, that's a lot of breastage.
It is.
But it's hard as balls as well.
If you want to challenge yourself without your knowledge, because I didn't know about this, you can not cook yourself any food, because when you eat food, it will permanently upgrade your stats. I didn't know that. So I went through I went through most of the game not knowing this. Then Jai said, "Oh, you struggled on these bosses." And I said, "Well, it took me 2 or 3 attempts to get past them." Yeah, and he said, "Have you been eating your food?" I was like, "It's only a passive bonus though, isn't it?" And he's like, "No, it's a permanent one." I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like as soon as you start creating recipes and eating new food, it's only when you eat a new food. So every time you eat something new, you'll get increased to your health, your mana regen. Like you get mana regen, so you can start cracking off your spells all the time. It's mad.
Yeah.
The difficulty went from this is quite difficult to this is a lot easier. A lot easier. It's a fun game though. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And the last game, which is the one I'm currently spending some time on, is Digimon Cyber Sleuth, the first one. There's another one which is Hacker's Memory, which, considering this game, I will probably get the next one.
Oh, what kind of game is it?
So it is a traditional JRPG with a lot of Pokemon elements. You do collect. The difference is one of the key things you have to accept in the game is that it's not necessarily that you get them to evolve into your favorite forms.
Boo.
You get them to evolve into a form. It could be your favorite, could be not. Then you send them back to a base form, get them to evolve into another form. They'll get better stats, more attacks, everything else.
What if I just want to use Devamon? Because I thought he was a badass design.
Because if you use, then you need basically to have the Digimon to turn into Devimon, and at least turn him into one other form first, or else your Devimon will suck and you will lose.
Okay, so the form that you choose, or the form that you want the most, should be the last one you choose.
Yeah,
kind of. Okay,
but you have complete freedom at any time to turn them back. But like once you turn them back, it's a case of leveling them back up to the point where they would be able to evolve again.
Oh, this sounds kind of interesting. It's Cyber Sleuth, is it? Because there's another one that's called Next Order.
That's a more traditional Digimon World game, which is kind of a raise up your pet game.
Right, okay. And you wanted the more apparently Persona feeling games, according to the title of this video I'm looking at.
Yeah, Cyber Sleuth is definitely more traditional JRPG.
Okay.
And the story is just starting off, but it's got a silent protagonist for the most part. He does have some lines, but it's okay. It's because they wanted to have an option to be a girl or a boy, so they decided.
Does Professor Oak ask you if you are a girl or a boy?
No, your Professor Oak is a Japanese detective lady wearing no bra.
Okay, well, good for her.
And a largely open shirt. But she is a tante. She is a detective.
Tante-san.
There's an interesting premise about why the Digimon, like basically they have that one of those internet things where look, you build your avatar, but you know how in most of those things it's you build your avatar and then there's no sense of drama or danger because oh my god, they've destroyed my avatar online. No.
Yes.
Well, this time your avatar is you being sucked into a digital representation of the internet.
Oh, neat.
And everyone has that.
Wait, is this Sword Art Online?
No. But
I like that awkward, worried pause. Like, is it like Sword Art Online? I hope not.
No, but the story's starting to get a bit interesting, and I don't know if the writers are some of the ones who worked on the show, but some of those shows had good stories.
Is the gameplay
so-
fun?
Yeah, no, it's basic JRPG. It's not super complicated,
Okay.
but it works. There's different attributes. Like, if you're in for a JRPG experience,
Yeah.
like, and I am, and I like the aesthetics, I like the feel of the game, so I'm going to plow away with it for a bit. The last thing of any note I did was today I finally watched Konosuba the movie, because you're all racist against the Irish, and I had to do what had to be done.
How are the
Yar.
subtitles? Did you enjoy the story?
That was a really good movie.
Did you get to see like it with subtitles or not?
Yeah, subtitles.
Hey, good stuff.
That's
a great
That
film.
was a really good movie.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot. Oh man, I now want two more. One for Aqua and one for Darkness. Now that Megamine's got her one.
I see.
Also like Megamine, not holding back at times in this one.
No.
Like, kind of like, not like, I kind of just going like, well, this might be happening.
Pervert, leave me alone. Death to you. Death, 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 death. Runs off into the forest.
But also occasionally like, well, we're locked in here now, and he's just like, what's going on?
Yep.
What's happening here? And then referencing the fact, like, Darkness, because in the show, Darkness has a moment where she says, like, you wouldn't really do anything even if I gave you the opportunity, even though you'd act like you would.
Yep.
Which is kind of true.
Yep.
And both her and Darkness have this vibe of just like, well, maybe you should. And of course, poor Aqua, never sexualized in any way, shape, or form.
Because she's the worst.
Aqua's amazing. That is my favorite. You will love Aqua.
No one loves
Best
Aqua.
girl. Aqua is best girl in a terrible, terrible, terrible girl.
Aqua is best girl to make fun of.
Aqua is best. But like, I love the villain. Sylvia is a laugh and a half.
Oh yeah.
She's great.
I was sad there was no redemption for Sylvia.
I don't want to go, like, I could go on about this movie for a very long time, because it also has some actiony moments. It also has the heartfelt moments that really make Konosuba stand out for me, because it is dumb, mad fun about four people who kind of love each other to the point of hating each other. And really are more comfortable with the hating side of the relationship than the loving side. But yeah, it was a real good time. It was a real good time. I will be buying the Blu-ray. Real good time. I could not emphasize that enough.
It's weird. I wouldn't really call it a movie. I'd call it a mini season, because it didn't when you think of a movie, especially from an anime series, you think of something like Dragon Ball Z, where it has no impact, where it's just a single adventure.
Yeah. Whereas this is them versus one of the Devil Generals, which is actually a big plot point for them.
Exactly, yeah. And it's something that you could easily see have been stretched out to an entire season in the show, or at least half a season in the show. Easily.
It's also structured like a season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, especially it's got ad breaks. It's got space for ad breaks.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, which I loved. But no, well, if like I agree with that high-ranking director who I've never paid attention to before, that this is well worth your time.
Definitely.
I will be watching Premiere in the next few weeks again, because the world hates Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
You all need to accept this. And
I thought it was actually shown in your area though. You just couldn't get time to see it. Was that not the case? Or was it just slightly? Because wasn't it in Dublin?
I would have had to travel.
Belfast?
Yeah, that's 6 hours away. That's
Okay.
a 6 hour. That's three. No, that's. No, yeah, no, with train and traffic and everything else, that's 6 hours. So, no. Please, if you haven't tried Konosuba, try Konosuba. It is an experience and it is unapologetic in what it is, but what it is kind of fantastic.
The worst thing about it is it's not available to buy.
Yes,
on physical media.
There is no God.
Yep, because I would buy it straight away. I love that show. Yep. The movie, I thought the movie was great as well. I got to go to the cinema to see it, luckily, and I was apparently the thing that convinced Mikey to sail the seas.
Yarr.
Which didn't take much, to be fair. You were at that tipping point regardless. But I came back and I was like, the cinema was packed. It was full. It was a full screen. And Good. it was really interesting to watch it with people, and everybody was laughing. And I can't, like, I don't often go to comedies, but I can't remember the last time I went to the cinema and I heard everybody laughing in the cinema at the jokes. It was
Yeah,
the
no,
perfect
like,
audience for it.
Every beat hits. Every beat hits.
It's just nice to have seen it with people who also like it and laugh. Because you don't I don't think you usually get that at the cinema. So the actual experience was really good, and it was a great film. Just fun. Looking forward to more in the future. There's super heartfelt at the end as well. Super
I feel like
heartfelt.
something poking me because something is. Oh man, it's very heartfelt at the end. It's just because that's what Konosuba gets me. Like, as much as I laugh my ass off at it, it's also like it is kind of a meaningful story in its own little way. Love it.
And they had really nice references to previous adventures and other things that happen in the world as well. So if you'd seen the show prior, and you just a couple of times it said something, I was like, oh, they're making a nice reference there. Cool. Yeah.
And I just checked. This was basically volume 5 of the novels.
That makes sense.
So which is, by
so
the way,
it was a season.
the next thing coming after what they've already adapted.
Yeah, that definitely felt like how it was. I like me and you have wondered why for the longest time where season 3 is. This is season 3 effectively.
Yeah.
So now hopefully
you
we
better
can
be
get an
making
announcement.
season 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say hopefully we can now get an announcement for the next season, because I don't want it to just be movies. No. I'd like it to continue to maybe do a movie every now and again.
Yeah, but then again, if the movie stayed this quality, honestly, I could handle it. I mean, I don't want it because I think there's going to be stuff that's cut out that we...
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah, but at least we know that the people making the movies are not like the people who make movies for stuff in general, which is like, we'll half-ass it. They're not half-assing this. They were just like, no, we're doing this properly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it didn't feel like it's really harsh to say half-ass it, but I do feel that they did half-ass it with the My Hero Academia movie. It was just like it did nothing. It was absolutely a nothing burger. And the Dragon, I can say this with a surety, a vast majority of the Dragon Ball Z movies are terrible.
I would honestly say there's one that isn't.
Which one?
The latest one.
Yeah. See, I would throw in the History of Trunks, which is I suppose more an OVA than movie.
That's not a movie.
Yeah.
Bardock and Trunks aren't movies.
No. Bardock
is sad now because they retconned it, but
yeah,
which they shouldn't have.
Right. Anything else, Mikey? You been up to much else? Is that you done?
I've lost my lungs a couple of times.
Oh, cool. Nice.
But what about you, Andy?
Well, yesterday I watched Venom for the first time. Have you seen Venom, Mikey, movie from 2018?
I've seen enough clips to know that I'm not watching Venom.
It's fine. The way I would describe Venom is it's like Spawn for 2018. It's not a terrible movie, but it has some wonky special effects here and there, and it doesn't really do the source material justice. But it's not awful. There's a lot of the symbiote is part of a symbiote species, and they want to destroy the planet. And at some point, for some reason, the Venom symbiote decides he doesn't want to destroy the planet. And there's no real explanation as to why. He says it's Eddie Brock that's the reason, but they really didn't spend a huge amount of time together, interacting. It feels like there was a lot of character, bonding between the two of them that was removed from the movie. So it's odd in that sense. You know the clip about the turd in the wind that you've seen in all the trailers? That's right at the end of the movie.
Of course it is. Which
is bizarre. That's after the entire main plot is concluded, that's this is how we get along now. It's again, like I say, it's not a terrible movie, it's just very much I'll never watch it again. I don't know why it's getting a sequel, or why people were up for it getting a sequel, as it's so meh. At least in my opinion. I've been doing...
Andy,
yes,
before
Mikey.
you go on...
Yes.
You know Isekai Quartet is getting season 2?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised.
Do you know what's being added?
I would assume Rising of the Shield Hero.
This is correct.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we said. We said for the longest time,
Yeah.
that's who you have to add.
Yeah.
Right? There's like, what else are you gonna do? Like, I don't.
Oh, the designs are amazing. So cute.
We know that there are other isekai series out there, but
No,
they're
there
not as popular as Rising of the Shield Hero.
No, they're not as worthy.
Actually, I say that, but then they did Tanya, so, and I hadn't fucking heard of Tanya until Isekai Quartets. So, yeah. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. Okay, it hasn't go away.
How cute they are.
Let's have a look. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's perfect. Now Fumi is not going to enjoy a lot of those people there.
No, but him and Subaru should be able to have a chat. Better than him and Kazuma.
Yeah, like, Kazuma's a worse version of Subaru in terms of personality. But I think now Fumi's going to get annoyed with Subaru anyway, because Subaru's kind of grating like Kazuma is as well.
But they can bond over atrociousness and terribleness.
It's true.
Hmm.
Oh, and you've got Raftalia, who will get on with all the women's.
Yeah, except
she's
Aqua.
delightful. Well, yeah, probably. So what else have I been up to? I've been watching Build Divers Re-Rise, more of that. I'm up to like episode 10 or something, and it's starting to feel very much like the previous season, where it's just existing and the plot is very bland. So I'm not really. I'm not that impressed. I'm wanting another good Gundam show to come out, but this is clearly not what this show's intending to do. This show's intending to push toys, and that's fine. It's just Gundam usually has at least a proper show that's a lot more interesting. But yeah. I've been doing 01. I did 2. I'm up to episode 4. Oh, well, I'm episode 5 tonight of 01. That's fun. It's good. The main actor's a bit on the grating side at the moment, which he told me won't be an issue forever.
I feel like they realized relatively quickly that they need to tone it back.
Yeah, because in that first episode, oh boy, he is nails on a chalkboard. He is rough as fuck to watch. I found. I was like, ugh. But no, I like the idea behind it. I'm all for these AIs developing intelligence and personalities, and obviously I don't know as of yet, but it seems like the reason why the Humor Gears are chosen to become the bad guys, the specific ones are chosen, is because they develop past their programming, and it's like, haha, I can now use you for the what's the network called, the Miriboshi?
The network.
Yeah.
Metsubo Jinrai Netto.
That's it. Metsubo Jinro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I still don't like the additions to 01's costume, like the splitting of his helmet. I think it's mainly because the colors don't work too well.
Do you think the yellow clashes?
Yeah, the lime greeny yellow doesn't work with a huge amount of colors. It works really well on black, but when you're shoving teal blue in there and like a pinky red in there, I don't think those work. But the idea, like adding more to the silhouette with effectively just adding more armor to it, is not a terrible idea. So yeah. I'm a little disappointed that the wolf's extra form didn't really add. It was just like he had a bullet, and this bullet transformed into his new gorilla-like armor, but it still had the look of his normal outfit, so it was slightly weird because I thought they'd follow the same kind of principle, if you know what I mean, and add to it rather than like it be an entirely separate form that just happens to look the same. I'm enjoying it so far, though. You know, it's nice to get back into Kamen Rider. I'm not watching it going, oh, fuck. Jesus, kill me. Which is how you made Gio sound, at least, most of the time.
At times, it had its moments. I had a chat with Chris about it that sort of got us talking about mostly the positive stuff.
Which is weird, because most of the time, it was rare. I felt that you talked about the positive stuff.
The references in the latter half of the show, especially.
Right.
That's what's the positive stuff, and it's when the show got into its own stuff that it was nails on a chalkboard,
and that's
which unfortunately it tried hard to do by the end.
Yeah, I mean, it should be its own thing as well, and if its primary thing is it's not very, if the primary unique thing about the show is not very good, but the good stuff is the references to everything else. That's not great. Because even Go Kaija, like, it did its references well, and although it was a Sentai show, I think it did its own stuff for the most part fairly well on top of that. What Decade was obviously a bit of a mess, to be fair, in retrospect, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to try Shito. I'm happy with 01. And we're up to episode, 14 on that at the moment or something? Is that right? 15?
15.
15. Okay, so I've basically got a week, and then I'm up to date. Well, less than that, because I started yesterday, so by next week I'll be all caught up, unfortunately, so yeah. And the only other thing that I've really done is more Fate Grand Order. It's fantastic, still loving it a lot. It's still continuing on and surprising me with how well it's adapted the source material, which I'm super pleased about. I got in the post as well from a PS4 Samurai Warriors 4 2. It's like the upgraded version of the fourth game. It's the first time I've done a Samurai Warriors, so instead of Dynasty Warriors, it's set in Japan during the age of Nobunaga, of course, because that seems to be the only era that they ever talk about, which is fine. It's a really interesting era. The story's a little, like most Dynasty games, is a little bit messy unless you know the source material. But the gameplay is really fun. I'm enjoying it a lot more than the last Dynasty game I played, which was like 8, I think. The mechanics I prefer in there a lot more. In Dynasty 8, you had like a weapon switching gimmick, so you had a rock paper scissors element to it as well, and you could swap between 2 different weapons, so you'd either be neutral or strong or weak, which I wasn't really a fan of, mainly because I liked the main characters having their weapon, and I felt when they didn't have the weapon, it almost took away from their character, because their weapon is their unique moveset, so it should be unique to them. And I felt just being able to give them anything kind of took away that uniqueness, which I wasn't a big fan of. While the gimmick in Samurai Warriors is you basically can switch between 2 heroes at once. So one's partially AI controlled, and then you control the other one, and you can just press the option button to switch between the 2 of them. So you can send one to one side of the map, and you go to the other side of the map, and if anything happens, you can switch between the 2. And because they do that, it means that when you do multiplayer, you can either do a co-op or via the internet, and you're doing a story mission, there's characters set up within that mission who you can pick from. So it's not just a random character who shouldn't be in that battle. You can do that obviously in a free battle, but if you're doing a story mission, you can pick from a select number of characters, which is quite nice. But I'm really enjoying it. It's good. It's fun. I think that's it. Can't think of anything else I've been up to. I did go and see my buddy Matt, so that was fun. We were meant to do a Christmas recording, but he got up late, so pushed the plans back, so we couldn't get the Christmas recording done. So hopefully next Sunday he's going to be available, so he can come around here and do that, and then me and Mikey will either record later that night, or I'll ask you next week, Mikey, if we can record on Monday. We'll see how that goes. And that's been about it. That's it. I can't think of anything else, Mr. Mikey. That's me done.
I have some questions, but my throat is starting to go quite badly, so I'd like to hold out another week or 2.
That's fine. Yeah. We can keep saving for the future. So thank you for Mikey. Thank you for joining us once again. It's nice to have you back on the show and have someone to talk to instead of just screaming into the void as I do every single day of my life. Where can people find you on the internet, sir?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and of course you can send me feedback and everything else over on the moonbase2@gmail.com, and in all the other mediums you can contact us on with things.
Well said.
Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitter as CCTFW, YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, or you can head over to the ccbunker.weebly.com to get us there as well. And if you want, you can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2, and you can get the extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2, which will happen at some point, I'm assuming. Yes, Mikey?
Yes, when the comic comes out.
Yeah, do you know when that is? When the comic is?
Some point in the month.
Okay, that's fine if you don't know.
IDW's release schedule.
Yeah, it's coming.
That's all I'm
It'll
saying.
come at some point. And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we will be talking about something. Well, as long as my friend Matt becomes available, it'll be something Christmassy related, hopefully before Christmas. So that's the hope. Or I'll need to rush and get something out beforehand. So that'll be fun. Yeah, thank you, Mikey, for joining us. And until next week, everybody, we shall catch you later.
Take care, peoples. Any lozenge.
You are now leaving Moonbase